show through when it like really stretches.
I've had leggings with more resistance than these, and I was kind of constantly pulling them down. They're actually really flattering on the glutes too. Love the strappy details of this. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Catherine, and today we are reviewing the Buff Bunny Collection Boss launch. This is, I think, the biggest launch of the year. I know like everyone always says that, but there's a ton of stuff in this launch. And honestly, the summer launches were kind of small, so I do feel confident saying that this is the biggest. So there's a ton of new stuff, and I am going to go over all of the new pieces. I don't personally have every single new piece, but I've tried to ask people about the other pieces that I didn't get, and I will insert photos, so I will talk about every piece that's launching. And in addition to new pieces, they are restocking the Live shorts, Live leggings, and Live crop tops in all of the colors. And that was by far my favorite launch all summer. And the shorts were just a dream. I'm getting all of the other colors that I don't have, and they're pretty affordable. I forgot the price, but I'll put it on the screen. I did review all those pieces in a separate review, and I will have the link to that review down below. But because they have so much stuff in this launch and they're restocking the Live stuff, I do have hope that things aren't gonna sell out like instantly. Buff Bunny actually never used to sell out as quickly as they have been this summer. It's kind of a new thing for me, honestly, because I used to be able to go on the like later the day of the launch or the next day, and things were still in stock, and then plenty of stuff would go on sale for like Black Friday or other sales. I don't really know what's been going on lately, but I think that everyone's been in kind of like an online shopping mood in this whole pandemic situation. On that note, there have been a lot of launches from a lot of brands recently, so don't feel like you need to purchase from every single launch or need to grab every single thing. I know it can seem like that sometimes because everyone always says, you need these, you need these. If you want to buy a ton of stuff, by all means, go for it. But just remember, there will be more launches from Buff Bunny and from other brands later this year that you'll probably want stuff of too. So I don't know, I like to dip my toes into the launches. Get a few of my top picks, you know? I know it seems like it right now, but you're not gonna regret not getting every single piece from every single launch. There's always new stuff to be excited about. Anyways, this launch has a range of a lot of really cute stuff. They have some bright summery colors if you're still in that summer mindset. They also have some shorts, and they also have some colors to kind of transition into fall. I definitely feel like this launch is more legging heavy than some of the other launches. Like there are definitely a lot of cute leggings coming out, and I didn't even get to try all of them. And they also have suits, yeah, like real suits, and lingerie. I did not get the lingerie, but I do have one of the suits, so I'll be getting into the nitty-gritty details because there are some pros and cons, as there always is on this channel. We say the pros and we say the cons. Not only do we have a bunch of activewear and suits, we also have new Game Changer bags, which the Game Changer bags are probably my favorite thing from Buff Bunny because I just don't know anything else that I wear from them every single day. I just finished my first year of dental school, and I have used either my Game Changer bag or my backpack every single day, and it's just so nice to not have to carry around a bunch of bags and like a lunchbox and all this stuff. So I will go into all the details about the new Game Changer bag luxe version at the end. This review will be 100% honest. I always like to help you guys make the most informed decision on what you guys are going to be purchasing or not purchasing, but I do have a support code with them. It's just my name, Catherine. If you enter it in at checkout, please let me know and I'll enter you into my monthly giveaway. I choose one winner every month to give a $50 activewear gift card to anywhere. It doesn't have to be a brand I'm affiliated with. It can literally be anything. So if you use my code, let me know and I'll enter you into that. So without further ado, let's get into the review. So I feel like I have to talk about these first. These are the Legacy leggings, and I was definitely most excited about these for the launch. So there's a couple reasons I was super obsessed with these. First of all, this print, this is the Bossy print. I am just obsessed with like this like black speckle print. It's similar to like the Do You Even one, and I think there's like a few other ones, but this is the winner for me because it's made of the Nubri fabric, which is one of my favorite Buff Bunny fabrics. Same fabric as the Rosa leggings, and I'll do a little size comparison with the Rosas. The Nubri fabric is kind of a medium to high compression brushed fabric that, even though it's brushed, actually holds up really well in workouts. I wear them in high intensity workouts, really anything, and they do hold up. It comes in this Bossy print, but it also comes in 3 solid colors, one of which the color is named Elwoods. I almost got it just because of that name. So I got these in my normal size small, and these have a seamless waistband. They have these super cute little seams that I don't really know how to describe them. They kind of like resemble, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like a little fountain, but it curves kind of around the glutes, enhance the glutes a little bit, and it's just very subtle and very cute. No front seam. I think these are the very first no front seam leggings from Buff Bunny, which just like a round of applause, because I'm gonna be honest, I love the Rosa leggings, but they cost some camel sometimes. They just do. And now it's a thing of the past. So no front seam, we love that. And at the bottom, they just kind of have like a little extra seam detail, but nothing crazy. So let's do a little comparison with the Rosa leggings and then try these on. All right, so a little sizing comparison. These are both size smalls. These are the Rosa leggings, so like an OG Buff Bunny Rosa legging, and these are the new Legacy leggings, and I do have them lined up over here. And the Rosas are definitely like running basically a full size smaller. I did find the Rosa leggings did run pretty small, so I often recommended sizing up, or at least if you're in between, and the Legacy leggings are much more true to size. I would also like to point out that I've had these Rosa leggings for about a year now, and I wear them quite a bit, and I am not shy about washing them, and they are literally still in perfect shape. Like, I wasn't sure at first if the fabric was going to be pill prone, but there's really no pilling, and I can trust I can wear these on leg days and intense workouts, and even though it's a brushed fabric, it still really holds up. First of all, the rise is a little higher than the Rosa leggings, so I feel like they're a more comfortable high waist. Like the Rosa leggings, I usually feel like I have to pull them up a little bit to be at the high waist that I really would like them to be. These go just above the belly button. They're a seamless waist, and the waistband is slightly tapered, but they're not digging in too much. These overall give a solid medium compression. The fabric is the Newbury fabric, so it is very soft and brushed. The Newbury fabric is a little thicker and a little more compressive than the Energy fabric of the Live leggings, so I do feel like you're gonna get like a little more like cellulite coverage, especially in this print. You'll get a little more cellulite coverage, but even in the solid colors, I would say that these are cellulite friendly, not cellulite proof. Sometimes no front seam leggings can kind of showcase a little too much of this region, but because this fabric is a little thicker, I feel like that's not going to be an issue. I'm also not getting any awkward gathering that also can be an issue with front seam leggings, so I'm definitely happy with the no front seam situation, because sometimes no front seam sounds good and then you can get other problems. But these, I feel like we're doing pretty good. You do have a seam all the way down the leg, and then you also have that little seam detailing along the bottom of the leg. These are about a 7/8 length on me. I'm gonna give these a high on the booty scale. This fabric always hugs you in the right places, but doesn't squish you down. So I feel like I'm being hugged, like, you know, in the like kind of under glute area, but then kind of the glutes are being left at their max potential, and you have this kind of curved seam detailing. I would say these are very true to size. I'm wearing my normal size small, and I think they fit more true to size than the Rosa leggings. These are kind of more of a warmer legging, so I wouldn't put these in like the summer legging category. This is definitely one of my favorite items of the launch. If you are trying to pick these up in this print, I would be quick because I think a lot of people are into this print. So I think this print is going to sell out first. Okay, I was asked to include sit tests in my review to see how the waistband does. And okay, so this is sitting up straight. Waistband is fine. We slouch a little bit. It's actually not cutting into me very much, and I would say it's not really rolling down. Like, we'll stand up and it bounces basically right back to its shape. I just wanted to mention, in case this would bother anyone, from some angles with my leg out like this, like you can see the little gusset here. I wouldn't say you can totally see it from the front, but you can see it like a little bit. So just wanted to mention that. So I will say this isn't super noticeable. Hello, Peach. But because the fabric is white underneath this, I'll show that in a second, when you like bend your knee or like squat and stuff, you are gonna see like white popping through. It's not bad, it kind of looks worse on camera than in real life. It is white on the underside of this, so you are gonna get a little bit of that show through when it like really stretches. To match the Legacy leggings, we have the return of the Revolution bra. This is like a fan favorite bra. Like, people absolutely love this one. It's also made of the Newbury fabric, and it comes in the same colors as the Legacy leggings. This bra was one of the things that sold out pretty quickly last time it launched, which people tend to love it, but honestly, it's not my personal favorite of the Buff Bunny bras, and I'll explain when I put it on. So it has this beautiful square neckline, and it's just very boxy in shape, but somehow enhances the girls a little bit. I don't really know how it works. Removable cut pads. It does extend down a little bit, so it is kind of a long line sports bra, maybe potentially a crop top for some. It has a stunning little cross back detail, super strappy, and just a simple little logo on the back. So let's try this one on. All right, so here's the Revolution bra. As you can see, it has that really nice squared neckline, and the straps go pretty far out. So I will say, if you're someone who likes to hide like the little armpit like fat region, this sports bra comes out very nicely and will do that. Obviously, I'm not saying that you have to hide these parts, but sometimes I think that we just need to accept that some people have insecurities that they want to cover, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to cover certain parts of your body. So let people hide whatever they want, or let people flaunt whatever they want. It's a personal decision. End rant. It does also go down a little bit, so it is kind of a long line sports bra. And the back of it is just so pretty. I love the straps, and this material is super soft, so I've never had an issue with it cutting into my neck at all. It's very comfortable. So now to the reason that I actually don't love this bra a lot, this could just be a sizing thing. Maybe I should size up to a medium, but I find when I size up to medium in Buff Bunny bras, I don't really get enough like compression. So this is my normal size small, and as you can see, it kind of like cuts off in like the middle of my boob. And for people with smaller chests, I find that this bra kind of like pushes the girls up and enhances them a bit. But for me, I feel like when I lean down, I kind of fall out of it a little bit. So I do find myself adjusting and like kind of putting them back in. You can kind of tell I do pop out of it a little bit. So if you are a bigger cup size, I would either size up in this one or maybe go for one of the other bras that are launching. I would give this bra a solid medium support. I don't feel like I'm jiggling around a ton, but just because of the possibility of like falling out, it's definitely not like a high support. In this current size, I don't have any gaping anywhere, and I do like the bottom band of this because it is seamless and it stays put and it doesn't roll up, but it doesn't have any little band at the bottom, so it's very comfortable. We have our first guest of the show. This is Pinto, and I'm gonna ask you to not ruin any of the leggings you see up here, okay? And we have a new sports bra. This is the Alpha bra, and this is my personal favorite of the launch. First of all, this color, this is the color XL. A few other pieces in the collection come out in this color, and this is just like my favorite color of the whole launch. I'm not a huge green person, but this one kind of has like a cool undertone, and I just feel like it's a flattering green. Like, it's not like your normal like lime green that's like a little too yellow. This one is also made of the Nubri fabrics. Anyways, it has like this V front. This one is also a long line sports bra. It does go onto your rib cage a little bit. And then it has this gorgeous open back. It's like super strappy and just really open. It'll be easier to see on, but it also has removable cup pads. All right, so this is the Alpha bra. It also is a long line, almost borderline crop top. This long line part actually does have a seam in the middle of it because it kind of splits in the back into two different straps. It still has a seamless bottom part, and the band is just very stretchy and sits really well on the rib cage. So there's definitely more of a deep V and more cleavage than the Revolution bra, but because these straps are shaped kind of like this and go up and over the girls a little more, I actually didn't really have to adjust myself, and I wasn't like falling out during my workout, which I was impressed about actually. There's minimal side boob, but it doesn't cover as much as the Revolution bra. Little logos right here, and the whole back of it is just super open, super strappy, and I just love the strappy details of this. So in terms of support, I would give it a solid medium support, and I don't know if you can tell, but it just like holds me in well. Like, I can lean over and stuff and shake around, and I come back and I'm still in the same place. So if you're more of a small to medium cup size, I think you could go for either the Revolution bra or this one. But if you're a bigger cup size and you don't mind a little bit of cleavage, I think this one actually fits a little better. This one I definitely say true to size. I just can't get over this color. This is like the cutest thing. Next, we have the Confidential set, which I didn't really realize until people started pointing it out, that this is kind of like a camo print. It's super subtle. In some lightings, you can see the print more than others. The print is a jacquard, which just means that the print is woven into the fabric instead of being printed on. That's all jacquard means. I know that Buff Bunny used to have a jacquard set, and it was a different style of print. This is nothing like that one. The print is different, the fabric is different, so jacquard just means woven into the fabric. This set comes in a bunch of really cute, like, transition into fall colors. That's what I was talking about, and this is the color NDA, and it's like this beautiful, like, kind of warm purple. Since it was a jacquard, I thought it was going to be a very thick fabric. These are like actually really thin and incredibly stretchy, so they actually weren't too hot for my workouts, and I work out outside when it's really hot, so I'm very picky about that. Anyways, it's a seamless waistband, and the glute seams in the back do slightly taper. It's nothing insane, but it does give a little bit of enhancement. You wanna play? Go. All right, so here are the Confidential leggings, and these I would classify as a summer legging. They are really lightweight, almost kind of a naked feel. The fabric isn't sleek performance or brushed. It's kind of like It's kind of like a seamless fabric in a way. You know how those fabrics are kind of like knit feeling? I do think that this fabric would hold up really well in the gym. I did wear this for a workout and it held up well for me. And this also isn't a fabric that's going to collect a lot of lint or pill because it's not that brush material. So I actually was super impressed with the fabric. As you can tell, it's like super stretchy, literally so stretchy. I would really only give this a light compression. The waistband gives potentially a light to medium compression, but if you're looking for a lot of tummy control support, this probably isn't the right one. But if you're looking for a super lightweight, stretchy legging, I really like this one. So you see it has a front seam, but it's really not very invasive at all just because this legging is so lightweight. It just isn't really pulling much. And I would say that these are true to size. I feel like they fit pretty well overall. I don't have any complaints. There may be a tiny bit of extra fabric around here, but really not enough for me to change my sizing. I would say if you're in between sizes, I would size down. They're actually really flattering on the glutes too, because you can kind of pull them up a little bit. The seams do run over the glutes. Because they're so thin, I would say that these are probably only cellulite friendly. They do have a little print, so that does kind of distract from some cellulite. They are actually like very, very sweat proof. Like I wore these on a very hot workout, very sweaty workout, and I couldn't see any sweat on them. I think it's partially due to the print and partially due to the fabric. These are actually more of a full length on me. It might be because they're so stretchy that you can kind of stretch them down over your legs a little bit. They just have a simple crotch gusset, nothing extended. Okay, now we'll do the little sit down test. This is me sitting up straight and no issues really. And we lean over a little bit and then get up, and they bounced right back. So they're not gonna like roll down. Oh, also I will say there was meant to be a logo on this. I don't know why mine didn't have one, but I'm also not a huge logo person, so I'm not really upset by it. But if you get these, they will have just the classic Buff Bunny logo right there. We also have the Confidential Sports Bra, which is another kind of deep V one. I feel like I did have a little more cleavage in this one than the Alpha Bra. They just have removable cups and just a classic racer back. And I actually really like the racer back of this one because it's such a thin little strap here. I just feel like it was a very open back without being like straps falling off kind of open back, you know? So I was actually a fan of this one as well. I had a little clip from at the gym where I was literally drenched in sweat and you really can't even see the sweat on it. So this one definitely good for heavy sweaters. Here's a Confidential bra and it has even more of a deep V and more cleavage than the Alpha Bra. I think partially it's because this fabric doesn't quite have as much hold to it as the Alpha Bra, so I don't feel like it's really pulling me up as much. I would give this one kind of a light to medium support. I still do feel like I'm held in. I don't feel like there's a ton of side boob. We have pretty good coverage, but it is a pretty deep V. And I will say when I was like doing bent over rows in the gym, I felt like there was just a lot going on. This is just a classic sports bra, just an elastic band on the bottom. It's not long line like the other ones, which I am glad that the band does sit on my rib cage. Sometimes when bras get a little small, the band can kind of come onto your boob a little bit, and this one's doing a good job of sitting below. The back is really open and really pretty. I felt like it was nice for my back day because you can see all the back details. I'm just obsessed with training back lately. I literally just don't want to train anything else, and I know that's really not good, but in terms of sizing, I'd say true to size and size down if you're in between again, because this fabric is just pretty stretchy. And I definitely don't feel like this is too tight by any means. And the Confidential set also has this little lightweight crop top. The crop top is more of a scoop neck, so I do think that you'll be able to see these sports bra straps underneath it. So if that's gonna bother you, then maybe wear a different sports bra underneath it. But this top is like super, super lightweight. It almost feels more lightweight than the leggings. It is a short sleeve, but I honestly don't think you'd have a lot of pit stains because this fabric is just super sweat wicking. It does go down about an inch, inch and a half below the bra band. So when you raise your arms, you don't have to worry about seeing your sports bra underneath. It is more of a scoop neck, and just as I suspected, you can see the bra straps underneath. So it actually looks kind of cute if you get the layered bra. This is in a size small, definitely say true to size. Like the old Liv crop tops, I definitely recommend sizing up in those because those were super constricting in my sports bra size, but this is a size small, which is my sports bra size, and I think it's perfect. I'm not feeling any restriction or any tightness. So think true to size for this one. Next, we have a new pair of shorts launching in this launch. We have the Executive Pocket Shorts. This is the color CEO, but it also comes in the XL color. Just saying. So these are the same performance material as the Luna leggings and the Athena leggings from the last launch. So it's definitely a slick performance material, good for high intensity workouts. I will say, not the most sweat proof though. I'm gonna show you the sweat when I get to the bra that matches this one. So these are only a 4-inch inseam, which if you don't normally have a problem with 4-inch inseams, then you should be totally fine. I personally, 4-inch inseams are just a little bit too short for me. My thighs, they just eat them right up. And when I worked out in these, they did roll up pretty bad. I'll insert a photo. This was during hip thrusts though. So like that is a time where your shorts are gonna roll up more than like a standing lateral raise or something. But just being completely transparent, these did roll up, so I still prefer the Live leggings to these. These do also run smaller than the Live leggings. These are a size medium and they honestly look pretty small, so I would definitely size up, but they have a seamless waistband. These do have a front seam. I didn't find it super invasive though, maybe a little more invasive than the Confidential ones. They do have side pockets, and what I love about these is they have this little like folded side detail, so they kind of have this little like scalloped edge thing, and then the seams do slightly curve around the glutes. So let's try this on. So these are both mediums in the shorts. The back ones are the Live shorts in a medium, and these are the Executive Pocket shorts in a medium, and I do have them exactly lined up over here. And these ones, they felt a lot more snug, and I also have the size up in the Live shorts, and they're definitely just a smaller pair of shorts, so I would definitely size up in the Executive Pocket shorts. All right, so here are the Executive Pocket shorts. They have a seamless waistband, and they are high waist, but they just go basically right to the belly button. The waistband itself is actually pretty short. It's only probably like 3-ish inches, but this fabric itself has about a medium to high compression, so I do think you'll get a good amount of compression basically everywhere around. I feel like they really don't squish me too much. You can see there's a little squishing going on, but it's not digging in, so it's not gonna be something that's gonna like leave a mark on your legs, but it definitely is just a compressive short, so it's gonna squish a little bit if you have a little thickness to your thighs. The curved glute seams are subtle, but pretty nice. I would probably give these maybe medium to high on the booty scale. The pockets are pretty spacious. They do come to a little point at the end, and I really like this little scallop detail along here. This fabric is definitely a good summer fabric, a good performance fabric. Also, they do have the front seam, but as you can tell, I'm really not having any issues with camel. These are a size medium, and I really don't think I could have gone any smaller, so I would recommend sizing up in these. So these shorts really aren't my favorite just because they did roll up a lot on me. That's really a personal thing. I do like my shorts to be at least 5 to 6 inches in the inseam, but I know on some people that looks really long, so maybe for shorter people this is probably gonna look more like a natural short. It's gonna be less overwhelming for you, but for me, I just feel like I like them to be a little longer because I still have the bulk of my thigh that is not quite covering yet. With this length, I still am gonna get some thigh chafing walking by, but I did do a full workout in these, and I was kind of constantly pulling them down. That won't happen to everyone, but if you're used to 4-inch shorts and they roll up on you, these will probably do the same. I don't know if it's worth mentioning anything about cellulite because your whole thighs are still showing, so I don't really know if that's gonna make much of a difference, but it's a cellulite friendly, at least in the part that it covers. Sitting up straight, not cutting into my waist at all. I did size up in these, but the waistband is no top seam and pretty stretchy. And we lean over a little bit, get those rolls in there, and it's still actually it rebounded pretty well. So I would say that it's fine. So to match the Executive Pocket shorts, there's also the Maraschino bra. This comes in the same colors as the shorts, except this one also comes in this glow up color, which is like a really bright yellow, another nice little summer color. But I also got this in CEO. I'm wearing the Maraschino bra from the last launch. This is in the color Passion. This one is a size small and this is a size medium. So I'll compare the sizing and how I feel about them. But I did feel like the Maraschino bra ran a little bit small, especially with girls with larger girls. Made of the same performance material as the Luna Athena leggings and also the Executive Pocket shorts. And I did wear this for a workout, and keep in mind I'm working out in like 100-degree weather outside, sweating like a lot, but I definitely had a lot of under boob sweat in this one, and it was definitely very apparent. Anyways, this bra has a nice little deep V, but it actually holds you in pretty well. Like there's cleavage, but it's not like crazy. The back of this bra is so stunning. It's an open like oval styled back. My only thing is it does have a little band at the bottom of the bra. It doesn't cut in or anything, but if you like just very seamless bottom bands kind of thing, then this one does have a little seam. All right, so we got the Maraschino bra. This is in a size medium, which is a size up from my normal size. And I will say it's a more comfortable fit. I feel like this part isn't coming up onto my boob as much as the small did. I think it fits better in the actual cup region. I can actually put the cup pads in comfortably. It's still a solid medium support. I'm getting a little bit less compression, so a little less jiggle resistance than a smaller size because it's obviously just squishing me down a little less. Potentially a little less cleavage, but I just love the shape of this bra. I think it's a really nice V, but I don't think it's like too much cleavage. You actually still do get quite a bit of coverage, really no side boob, and you have this just beautiful open rounded back. My only thing about the size medium is that I do feel like I have a little bit of extra space in this region. It's not crazy, so I'd say if you're in between sizes, definitely size up. Next, I got the Timeless top. There are two tops launching and they're both very similar, but this is the one I have. It's just a super lightweight top, kind of borderline sheer. So if you get this in the white color, which it also comes in, you probably will see some color through. So that is actually a good option if you're trying to show like the color of your sports bra underneath or something, and you either don't like to wear just a sports bra or your gym doesn't allow it, which is stupid. Anyways, the fabric itself is lightweight, but it also has these little like panel details in this very nice lightweight mesh. It's a very classic tank. I'm wearing this in a size small and the fabric is really stretchy and super lightweight, so I don't think you need to size up to avoid it being tight in any areas. Definitely like more true to size. It's not a skin tight top either. I do have a little bit of relaxed room down here, so it is more of a casual fit. I love the little mesh panel details. You can see the color of what you're wearing underneath it, especially with the white. The white I think is actually a little bit see-through even in this part, so just keep in mind if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to see the color of what I'm wearing underneath, the white might show that. And then they also have the mesh panels on the back on the top part. It is a full length with a slight scoop hem and a little logo. Next we have a lounge set. This is the Goal Digger set, not Gulge Digger, but Goal, hashtag goals. They have a thick elastic waistband, but they also have a little drawstring. They have two little front pockets. They're pretty plain in the back. If you got the Balance lounge set from the last launch, I'd say that these are slightly more of a slouchy fit, and they also are a little bit longer. So I personally prefer these ones to kind of lounge around the house than the Balance ones. The fabric is a super plush, stretchy knit fabric, and it is slightly brushed on the inside, but it's not as brushed as the Balance set. It's still like super soft though. They're just kind of a basic lounge short. I will say that I definitely have a lot more coverage of the glutes than the Balance set shorts, so I do definitely like that. I feel like this is more of a slouchy, relaxed fit. They have the two front pockets. It's a very plush, stretchy, comfy fabric. I also prefer this fabric to the last one. It has like a little knit marled fabric detail, but as you can tell, there's just like a lot of fabric here. I am wearing a size up from my normal legging size, but this is the same size that I was wearing in the Executive Pocket shorts. But I'm just gonna show you like how much room there is on the waist. So it's definitely a relaxed fit. I would go with your normal legging size, potentially even size down depending on how you want these, but I do not think I would size up because these will still be relaxed fit in your normal size. They have a little scoop detail on the leg here. I feel like the inseam actually isn't that long itself, but the whole shorts themselves are just kind of long, so I feel like I'm just getting a pretty good amount of coverage. They go up to my belly button. I'm never crazy about lounge stuff. I prefer to review the leggings for you guys because I feel like this kind of speaks for itself. They're just kind of lounge shorts, but here they are. And to match that, there's the Goal Digger pullover. It's kind of just like this boat neck style little cropped sweatshirt. Same very plush, stretchy fabric, and these also have a little cuff at the sleeve with a little thumb hole, and the little neck detailing is the same as the little cuff sleeve. So let's try it on. All right, so here's the little pullover, and like I said, you're really not seeing a lot of midriff here. I have a very long torso. I do have my torso measurements down below, but if you have a shorter torso than me, you're probably not gonna have any skin showing. It's probably gonna be kind of like this. This isn't a hoodie or anything. It's just kind of like an open neck little sweatshirt thing. Very plush fabric. It is actually decently warm. And they do have the little cuffs on the sleeves for little thumb holes. I am wearing a size small and I still do actually have some room. So this is also a relaxed fit. I would go with your normal top bra size if you're in between, potentially even size down. But this one already comes as a relaxed fit, so I don't think you need to size up for the extra space. And the last clothing pieces we have, which I'm super pumped about, are the suits. So they just have the Boss blazer, and then they have 3 options for pants. I have the VP pant, but they also have the Boss pant, which I do know a little bit about that. So I know a lot of people are saying like, this is a horrible time to like come out with like suits and stuff because we're all like working from home. But as someone who doesn't wear suits often, I still feel like this is something you always need in your closet. Like I needed suits for my dental school interviews and I literally had none. I will still need professional attire for future interviews, future professional events. I've never seen a suit as something like, oh, this is something I need to wear right now. This is something I just want in my closet for events like that. Another reason why I'm excited, especially for the pants, is because I literally don't even own any suit pants because a lot of brands will say that their pants are stretchy and they still just like cling to my thighs and my calves, which are a very like meaty, muscular part of my body, and have always just made me feel really insecure and really not confident. And I have already tried on these pants and they did actually look good on me, so that was a big step. So that just really got me excited because now I actually have a pair of suit pants where I don't look, you know, weird in them because they're clinging to my legs in a weird way. So these do have a 4-way stretch, and when they say stretch, like they really mean stretch. It's 70% nylon, 30% spandex, and let me just say, like they like truly do have a lot of stretch to them. Let's just talk about the blazer first. So I got the Boss blazer in Onyx. I got it in a size small. Usually I'm kind of like between a small and medium in suit jackets. I would just recommend getting your normal size / smaller size because you don't need that extra space to like compensate when they're really tight, you know, because some work clothes are so tight sometimes, like they have 0 stretch to them. So it's just a classic blazer. It does come with a little extra button in case one of the buttons does fall off. The pockets on the jacket are actually like real pockets and they are open. I will say that the fabric is a little bit shiny. You can kind of tell on camera. It's not like a super matte fabric. It's also not quite as structured as a classic suit. It is slightly more of a slouchy look. I think it still does come across as like a normal suit, but you can tell when I put it on, you don't have as much of a structure and like crisp lines as a normal suit. I feel like this is probably the most important thing to review because they've really never launched a suit, or not even really never launched a suit. They have never launched a suit. So this is a size small, which like I said before, I'm kind of between a small and medium, but I definitely think the small is totally fine for me. I'm just wearing a sports bra underneath because I wasn't gonna like put on like a shirt. Usually my issue with suits is that they're a little tight on the bust area, but as you can tell, it's really not pulling on this area. I think that the suit runs maybe a tad bit big. The sleeves are actually a perfect length on me. So if you're on the shorter side, the sleeves might be a little bit long on you. They're good for me, but they kind of have to make them long in case you need to like hem them because you can't make things longer, but you can make things shorter. So I just buttoned one of the buttons here, but they do have 2 black buttons. They also have a little clasp guy on the bottom, so you can kind of make sure it doesn't come apart. So here it is all buttoned up, and then you have the clasp on the bottom, so this part is not gonna come undone either. I'm not sure if that's like a common issue in suits or not. In terms of shape, I think it's pretty fitted, pretty nice. It's not too tight in the back. I don't know if this is considered like baggy for a suit or not, but as you can tell with this fabric, first of all, I do wish it was a little more of a matte finish. It is a little bit shiny, so I feel like in certain lighting, like right now I have some bright lights on it, it's definitely, you can definitely see the shine, and sometimes that just kind of gives off the appearance of like cheap. And this isn't like your classic jacket with a ton of structure, big shoulder pads or anything. I would say it's almost on the more relaxed side of blazers. I feel like I'm just talking in circles, so we're just gonna move on to the pants. Then we have the VP pant, which is made of the same material as the jacket, so it does have slightly more of a shine to it, and it still is super stretchy, and I would say like slightly slouchier than some suit pants, but I feel like the pants look a little more normal than the jacket. Like it looks like it has a little more structure than the jacket. I really love these pants, not only because they actually like fit me for once, and like that's huge, they're super stretchy and they're actually high-waisted. They actually don't have a classic button and zipper down the front middle. It has no details around here, it's just very simple, which I think is really nice. Sometimes a button and zipper can kind of like increase the fabric in the region, make it a little more baggy. So I think this kind of makes it look a little more sleek. But to help it get on, it does have a zipper down the side, but it's one of those zippers that like you can't even really tell it's there once you zip it up. It comes with just this like little fabric belt thing, which you can kind of tie it in a little bow. I'll show you to make it maybe a little more feminine. They do have 2 pockets in the front, and these are real pockets that fit actual things, but the pockets in the back are not real pockets, which I don't really mind because sometimes butt pockets can kind of like crinkle up and not look very good. So these ones do not have real pockets. And they also have a slight like kind of like contour detail in the back. It's not gonna make people look at you and be like, oh, you're work pants have a booty contour, but I still feel like it is like slightly flattering. These are also about a 25 to 26 inch inseam, and the rise is about 12 inches. So I will include photos of that. I'll step back and show you the length in a minute, but as you can see, these definitely are a high waist. They're going up just about to my belly button. They do have little belt loops, and I really like this kind of like more flat, seamless front without the button. I feel like it just sits a little better and looks a little nicer. They do have real pockets, so you can actually put stuff in here. The zipper is on the side. It doesn't have any of those clasp things that like most pants do, but the zipper is very seamless and is really not budging, so I think it will stay put quite well. And this is my normal size small. I almost thought about sizing up to a medium in these, and I'm really glad I didn't. First of all, they're like super stretchy. Like, I could low-key work out in these. Like, there's no, I've had leggings with more resistance than these. I could actually benefit from taking in the waist just a little bit. So I would definitely go to the size chart and fit these to you based on your waist size, because this is the only area that's really gonna restrict you. Everything else is super stretchy. So I honestly think I could have maybe even done an extra small on these, but I might just get them taken in a little bit. Honestly, I've had to tailor every single pair of business pants that I've had, so it's nothing new for me. And another reason to go a size down is there's a little bit of extra fabric here, but like I said, they do run a little big, and you're not gonna have an issue with stretchiness if you size down. And here's the back. I feel like it's flattering on the booty, but I also don't think it's like giving you that saggy butt appearance that some business pants can have. You do have this slight little V contour detail. It's super subtle though, so I don't think it's like inappropriate, you know? The fabric's pretty lightweight. I wouldn't call it like thin, but honestly, I'm gonna squat test these just for fun. I don't really know. I can't really see, but I assume that they're fine. And then you have the belt, which is just really like a long string of the same fabric. You can put any belt you want into this. It's not like you can only use this belt. Like, these are standard belt loops. You can fit a regular belt in here. But if you want, you can kind of have like a simple little tie, maybe a little more feminine, or tie it into a little bow. I should probably be better at bow tying, but you know what I mean. I feel like it's actually kind of cute, but if you do tie a bow like this, just know that the suit jacket doesn't fit over it as well. You can like definitely tell there's something underneath it. So if you are gonna tie it like this is something that I would just wear with a top and no jacket, or at least with the jacket open. The pants also kind of have this little panel detailing that goes down the side. It's very subtle, but also kind of elongates the legs a little bit. Okay, so here's a full length view of the pants. I popped on some heels because it felt wrong to review these barefoot. They're actually basically a full length on me. Like, I don't feel like these are too short on me by any means. So these are a nice tapered leg, and they have a lot of stretch to them, but sometimes stretch business pants can kind of cling to your legs in weird places. And while these definitely do hug my thighs and my calves, as all pants do, I feel like they're still falling very nicely on my legs, and I don't feel like they're clinging to the areas and like looking awkward about it. Like, you can tell they're tight here, a little looser here, tight here, and then they come apart again at the bottom. But I feel like overall the shape of these is really nice. So I hope that was helpful about the pants. Regardless of the shine, I still really like these, and I'm just a fan. So those were the VP pants. They also have the Boss pants, which do have a button and a zip up in the front. So that's the only difference I know. Now moving on to the new Game Changer bags. And I believe these are called the Luxe Game Changer bags. I'm not really sure, but they're definitely new and improved. So I don't have the prices of anything yet. I never have the prices this far in advance, but the original Game Changer bags were around like $90, which I know it could seem expensive, and like it is expensive, but in terms of like getting a high quality tote bag, I don't know if I've found a tote bag that I really like for anything less than that. I'm not like a huge bag person. I'm kind of just like, get one staple bag and just use it. So I don't think it's bad in that case, because I've used it like every single day, and my old Game Changer has literally held up so well. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. And I've used it for almost an entire year now. So I personally think that the quality is really on point. So to answer the question of, do I think the Game Changer bags are worth it? Do I think they're high quality? Yes, 100% yes. This is my old one that I've had for a year now, and there's literally not even scratches on it. Like, it's still in really good condition, and this one does have a lot of upgraded features. So yes, they're worth it, but I will say, if you already have a Game Changer bag, I'm not sure that I would like rush to upgrading to this one unless you like are in dire need of a new one. But I know me personally, if I had a Game Changer bag, they already last really long. I'm not gonna tell you like, you need the new one, because I don't really think you do. But if you don't have a Game Changer bag yet and you've been wanting to get one, I do think that the new one is a little bit nicer than the older ones. So these come in a couple different colors. They come in Voyager, which is a navy with silver accents. They come in Onyx, which is black with gold accents. So this one does actually have gold accents. I believe that the old black ones had silver accents, so if you like black and gold. They have LeBlanc, which is white with white accents, which I actually haven't really seen. And then there's also Luxor, which is emerald green with gold accents. These now come in a dust bag, which the last backpacks came in as well, which I do think is a nice little touch. And now we'll go into some of the details in comparison to the old Game Changer bag. So both bags are vegan leather, but they're definitely different. This one, as you can see, stands up a lot straighter and it has a lot more structure to it. Like you can just tell when I kind of bend the fabric, it's very thick. And this one is a lot more soft and relaxed. This is also like a pebbled leather. As you can see, it has like those little like pebbled leather details. So this one's still like a lot more soft in shape. I will say once you like put more stuff in it, like your laptop, and like fill it, it does hold its shape still, but this one is empty and it holds its shape without any stuff. The zipper detailing is also slightly different on the new Game Changer bag. It is a branded zipper and it also has like a more sturdy little leather thing here, and this is the old one and it's just like a regular zipper with no logos or anything, and it's like a square shape. Are you gonna try to bite this? It's kind of hard to see, but the straps are slightly longer on the old Game Changer. It goes down like farther than the new one. The lining in the old bag had the Buff Bunny logo kind of all over it, and the new one is just very simple and plain. So there is still a laptop compartment. The padding on this one feels a little more firm in my opinion, and you have this nice little leather clasp thing. You have the same thing on this one too, this little leather clasp, but also yeah, I just have a toothbrush in here, just dental student things. So it's very similar, but this one was supposed to be for a 15-inch laptop, and this one I hear it's for 16 inches, so I will do the measurements real quick. Then the inside is pretty basic. This down here is just the meal prep compartment for when it kind of like fills up. It usually flattens out to the bottom of the bag. So keep in mind when you put stuff in the meal prep compartment, you are taking away space from the inside of the bag. And then you have the little inside zipper, so you open it up, just got a big zipper pocket, and then you have two little like pockets in here that I usually put like chapstick and whatnot in. And then you have the best part, you have the meal prep compartment. It looks like decent size, but it's actually a lot bigger than you think. Like that goes up like pretty high. I can like extend my hand, and then you also have it going down this way and down this way. So you can fit a good amount of stuff in here. I usually get questions if I put like an ice pack in here or anything, and I usually honestly don't. I usually just put my lunch in here and it stays cool enough for me until I get to lunchtime to either heat up my lunch or eat my cold salad. Okay, so at the top, this one is around 21 inches, and the top of this one is the same. So they look about the same in width, and in height, the new one is 12 inches, and the old one is more like 11 inches. So the new one is about an inch taller. This one across is a little more than 15 inches, if you can see. It's technically around 10, but I feel like you could fit a laptop in here up to like 11 inches tall, just because you do have a little extra space. In the diagonal, you can technically fit a laptop up to 17 inches in diagonal. The old one is only about 14 inches wide, and the height is also about an inch shorter as well. So in terms of diagonals for this one, you're only fitting a 16-inch diagonal. And kind of a little accessory to the bag, they are also coming out with Game Changer wallets, which I am so bummed, but I did not get one, so I can't really give you an in-depth review on it. But it comes in Onyx and Voyager, which is the navy color, made of the same like thicker vegan leather. It also comes with a metal chain to turn it into like a crossbody purse. And it has tons of space, like you have room for your keys, your phone, tons of cards, and it has a few little coin pockets. It also has one of those little detachable sleeve things, like just for like a couple cards and your ID, so you don't have to take the whole wallet with you every time. And you also don't have to like worry about like transferring everything to like a new wallet if you have like a smaller purse. If you're looking for a more in-depth review on the Game Changer wallet, I recommend checking out Gabrielle Tongle's review. She did a super in-depth review on the wallet. She also did a comparison of the new Game Changer bag to the old one. So feel free to check out her review. I'll also link that down below. Okay, finally onto the pieces that I did not get. So I did not get the Dreamy leggings, which are the second pair of no front seam leggings that are launching in this launch. So they're kind of a more simple version of like the legacy leggings. They're super plain and simple. So they have a seamless waistband, they have no front seam, just a classic crotch gusset, and really no details down the leg. So like a very simple legging, kind of like the Rosa legging except with no front seam, is how I would kind of think of it. But they're not made of the Nubri fabric or the Energy fabric, so they're not the same material as the Rosa leggings or the Liv leggings. They're a different material. I haven't tried this material, so what I've heard is that it's also a soft brushed fabric, but it does have more compression than the Nubri / Rosa leggings. I've also heard that the Energy fabric is definitely a little more lightweight and stretchier than the Dreamy fabric. Those also have a bra that goes with it. It's the Resource bra. made of the same new fabric. It definitely looks like a light support, and it has a really cute strappy back detail, and the back straps are movable, so you can kind of adjust it if you want the straps a little wider or a little narrower, as your preference. There's also the Supply and Demand set, which is more of like a lounge legging set. It's made of a super stretchy ribbed material. I have heard that the material is like very, very stretchy, so I would definitely consider sizing down in these. I heard that some people got their normal size in the leggings in the top, and they kind of wished that they had sized down. The Supply top has a deep V front and a scooped detail in the back. The Demand leggings do have a front seam made of the same ribbed material, super stretchy, and I've seen some people work out in them, but most people have said that they are more of a lounge legging, so not really something that they would take to like at least high intensity workouts. And they have minimal compression and a lot of stretch. They also have new Naughty tops coming out, which is the same style of Naughty tops. They're basically little cropped tees with a little knot detail in the front, and it looks like they have some kind of marled fabrics. They also have the Power hoodie, which comes in some bright summery colors as well as black. They have that nice little mock neck, little wrap detail, which I loved from the sweatshirts from the last fall launch they had. It just kind of like keeps your neck a little extra warm, so potentially not the best for summer, but if it's getting cold where you are, that's an option. And they also have thumb holes, and they're just made of a classic sweatshirt material. There's also the Empire top, which is the same materials as the Timeless top that I got, except it's all solid material in the front and the whole back is a mesh. There's also the heart on your sleeve top, which appears to be a full mesh, and it has a little heart on the sleeve, and it also has a bunch of writing in French on the front, and it's just a super lightweight kind of see-through mesh. And for the lingerie, which I didn't get, there's the Illusion set, which is a bralette set, and there's also the Agency set, which looks like a little more of a classic bra, but those come in black and white. I don't know much about them, but they are just full lace lingerie. Alright guys, so that is it for the review. That was very long. I literally just spent my entire Saturday filming that. My top picks for the launch have to be the Legacy leggings, the Alpha sports bra, the Confidential leggings, and the VP pants if you are looking for business attire, and the Game Changer bag if you're looking for a Game Changer bag. There are a lot of hits from this collection. I'm really excited for the launch. I didn't say it at the beginning, but I'll put it on the screen. But the launch is happening at 1 p.m. CST on August 22nd. Gosh, there are always so many things to mention. I always forget stuff. If this review helped you at all, please feel free to use the code Catherine at checkout. Again, it's not a discount code, it's just a support code. Kind of lets them know I sent you, and if you do use that, let me know again, and I'll enter you in my monthly giveaway. Also, feel free to DM me with any questions. Try to do that by Friday before the launch so I have time to reply to everything, because sometimes on the day of the launch things get kind of crazy and I don't have time to reply to things like within 2 minutes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure to subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you next time. Bye!